Guys, if you're a Shavkat Rakhmonov fan, you might want to turn this video off because I'm about to preach something you don't want to hear, but it's the cold, hard truth and the cold, hard facts. And that is that Belal Muhammad is going to destroy Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I'm not saying this as some sort of engagement bait or anything like that, because I've had the same opinion ever since Belal won the belt. Ever since Belal won the belt, I have said that Belal Muhammad is going to run through Shavkat Rakhmonov. I'm 100% picking him. I'm very confident he's going to be able to unanimous decision 49-46 Shavkat Rakhmonov. Because let me just ask you this: if you're picking Shavkat Rakhmonov, how do you see him winning? How do you see him? What do you see him winning in? Is he going to keep it on the feet somehow and, you know, knock out Belal? Is that what you see? Is he going to keep it on the feet, or is he going to, you know, go to the grappling and submit Belal Muhammad? That's the question I have for you, because I feel like a lot of people, as of recent, they've been picking people to win fights just because they don't like the other guy. Okay, just because they don't like the other guy, they overlook that person's skill sets. And I've seen a lot of people doing this with Topuria, where they don't like to give Topuria any credit. They don't, you know, they see him as, oh, he's too cocky, he's a dickhead, I can't pick this guy, I'm gonna pick Max Holloway, despite the fact that there's zero evidence anywhere, the statistics, the actual visually, anything you look at would lead you to believe that Ilia Topuria is going to win that matchup. So when I look at this matchup, and I was somebody who picked Leon Edwards against Belal Muhammad, but I realized, after that fight, I realized, dude, Belal Muhammad is actually the real deal. He's no longer that, you know, that guy who's, you could get chinned, you know. It looked like Leon was about to chin him in the first fight. I thought, you know, Leon might actually get a knockout in this fight. You know, for once in a blue moon, Leon gets a knockout, and I thought, hey, he might actually knock out Belal Muhammad. What did Belal Muhammad do? He showed him no respect. He marched forward. He was beating him in the boxing exchanges. He looked like Canelo out there, bro. And he was taking him down. But on a more serious note, I don't think people are ready to hear it, but Belal Muhammad is extremely dominant. He is, and he's going to be an underdog in this fight. I almost guarantee it, because he's been an underdog in all of his last fights. And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I know in the Leon fight, but in the fights before that, the Burns fight, all of these fights, it's like, for some reason, people, because they don't like Belal, they don't want to pick him. That's what it is. They don't want to pick him. And he ends up being the underdog, the betting underdog. And it's almost ridiculous, because this guy has won all of his fights that he was a plus 200, more than a plus 200. He has won them by absolute domination. There wasn't a moment where you go to the scorecards and you're like, oh, is this one going to be, you know, is this one going to Leon? Is this one going to Burns? No, he's dominated those fights. So I don't understand why people think that, you know, a Shavkat who got a win over, his most recent win was over Wonderboy. Think about that. Just think about it. His most recent win was against Wonderboy, and he's the consensus #1 contender. Now, I'm not even saying he shouldn't be getting the title shot, because who else should be getting it? There's nothing at welterweight that's showing me that Kamaru Usman deserves it. He's lost his last 3 fights. He doesn't deserve it. It's like, who else deserves it? Obviously, it's Shavkat, but just look at who he has beat to get that title shot, bro. Just the most recent guy he beat, Wonderboy. He's just got fucking knocked out by Buckley, bro. Joaquin Buckley. Fucking Buckley knocked him out, bro. Like, it's not... I don't understand why people... They overrate Shavkat so much. And I actually think Shavkat has probably the most potential out of all of these guys to be a future champ. Like, out of JDM, out of Ian Gary, out of all these guys, I think he has the most potential. I just don't think you're gonna beat Belal Muhammad. I don't think Usman's gonna beat Belal Muhammad, because I know Kenny Okoye, you know, I know he's been picking Belal a lot. I'm sure Bedtime's gonna pick him too. Maybe not, because he's picked against Belal, but I know Kenny Okoye is gonna pick Belal. And he said, you know, Usman's going to give Belal a hard fight, probably. That's biased. Belal is not going to have a hard fight against Usman. Leon probably gave him his hardest fight, and that was still a domination. So I'm sick of people discrediting, and this is going to happen, guaranteed. I haven't even checked the Instagram comments yet. I'm going to probably make a separate video on that once we get closer to the matchup. But I guarantee you the comments are like, you know, because I remember when he first got the belt, it was, he's warming up the belt for Shavkat. Yeah, keep that belt warm for Shavkat, but Shavkat's coming in, you know, Shavkat. It's his aura. It's his aura. That's the only reason you're picking him. There's no other reason. He struggled so much more against Wonderboy than Belal did. And Belal fought a more prime Wonderboy, and he 30-25'd them. He 30-25'd Wonderboy. He was finding so much success in the takedowns. Shavkat struggled a bit to get that takedown. You know, he struggled. And then he got the choke. But listen, what's more impressive than choking Wonderboy? Knocking him out. And Buckley just did that, bro. Buckley just did that. So I'm sick of this. And let's look at some stuff here. You know, we got Shavkat's very impressive record. Dude, this guy's pulling out of every fight, first of all. I mean, it's probably not him, it's his opponents. But listen, Wonderboy. Okay, so we got the Wonderboy rear naked choke a year ago. A full year ago. This will be a full year by the time he fights. I don't like that, first of all. I don't like that for a guy like, you know, Shavkat. I think he should be a little more active, bro, personally. But listen, whatever. He did get injured. So it's good that he's getting, you know, the full time to recover. So there's no excuses from people once Belal beats him. I don't want to hear excuses, because I know a lot of people have been making excuses every time Belal gets a win. Against Burns, the excuse was, you know, he broke his hand, which he broke his hand in the fight. He broke his hand in the fight, not before the fight, in the fight. And then, you know, the Leon fight, not too many excuses, but I've heard people say, like, you know, Leon was sleepy and Leon was tired, and like, we can't give any credit. You just can't give any credit to Belal Muhammad. It just pisses me off. But listen, you know, we got the Jeff Neal, and this is who he's beating. Think about it this way. Who has he fought that's that you personally think that's an elite win? That's a good win. That's a win that shows me he's going to do well in this fight. A Jeff Neal, you know, rear naked choke, the standing choke, it was badass. He's having badass moments. But badass moments doesn't equate to doing well against one of the best grapplers in the UFC right now, and overall a very good fighter. He's able to, you know, keep it standing for a bit. Belal's able to keep it standing, but I'm sure he's going to be shooting takedowns. 100% he's going to be shooting takedowns. And I don't know if you think, you know, Shavkat's that good of a grappler to the point where he's going to be able to compete with Belal. This is not going to be, I'm not saying Belal's going to TKO or KO or submit Shavkat. I'm saying this is going to be very similar to how his other fights have been, where, you know, he's probably going to get booed by the crowd. He's going to, you know, he's just going to be dominant. That's the thing. He's so dominant to the point where it ends up being boring. And I guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, MMA Guru picks against him, just because that's the thing. That's what I've noticed, is people pick against Belal because they don't like him. Okay, and it's bullshit at this point. I picked against him. I didn't like Belal. I like him now. I think people overhated him for a while. He's a good champion. He is a good champion. He's probably going to be more active than... already is more active than Leon Edwards. What am I even saying? He's already more active than Leon Edwards. He's probably going to be more active than Shavkat if Shavkat becomes champ. Sure, Shavkat's going to have good fights. You know, he'll be submitting people and knocking people out. But honestly, I think Belal, let's let him ride out his career. He's probably going to retire in a couple years anyway. But, dude, he's not going to lose to Shavkat. Like a Neil Magny win. Who is he fighting? Who out of all of his career in the UFC, even the regionals, you know, this guy hasn't had many fights in the UFC, but listen, who do you think out of these wins is his most impressive win? Probably the Wonderboy win, but I have to argue, like, Buckley, in my eyes, the win was more impressive. Knocking out Wonderboy was more impressive than choking out Wonderboy, because everyone knew that. Everyone going into that fight knew that, you know, Wonderboy, his way to lose was on the ground, you know, get choked out, get just, you know, hugged to a decision or something like that. We all expected a finish, though, so we all knew it was probably going to be a submission. He probably was not going to KO Wonderboy. And then you look at a guy like Buckley, on the other hand, you thought he was going to smudge Wonderboy to a win, which is what I picked him by. I picked him just by a decision. I thought he was going to, you know, take him down. And what does he do? He knocks out Wonderboy. I'm sorry, that is much more impressive than submitting Wonderboy in my eyes, okay? I don't know. I think Shavkat's really just being overrated. Obviously, this isn't some technical analysis right now, because the fight just got announced. This is my opinions on it right now, that it just got announced literally like 20 minutes ago. I just wanted to make a little video like this, okay? I'm going to be going into the X's and O's later, but I really don't need to, bro. Because I feel like that's when, if I go into the X's and O's, I'm going to see something like, Belal's too open here. Because that's what I did with the Leon fight. And I picked Leon because of that. I picked him by fucking TKO. I thought he was going to do... Because he looked good in the first fight against Belal. But Belal Dude, this guy's on roids too. I'm telling you. Belal's on something. He's on this fucking Dagestani sauce. He's training with Khabib. Dude, it's like we're not picking him because he's the villain. That's the only reason why. Because he's the villain in your eyes. But I'm fucking telling you, he's going to win. This is going to age very well. I'm almost as confident in this pick as my Ilya pick. That's probably my most confident pick of the year. The Ilya Topuria pick. I'm more confident in the Ilya pick than I was in the Pereira pick. And, you know, this is also another pick that I'm very confident in. I'm more confident in this pick than the Pereira versus Roundtree fight. But listen, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to pull off the win. We're in a Belal era. We're in a Belal era, whether we like it or not. I hope you guys, by now, have, you know, fucking given Belal a little bit of respect, at least. Because I'm not Mr. Respect Fest, but a guy like Belal, this motherfucker's fighting literally a couple months after he just got his belt. A couple months after he just got his belt, he's fighting the guy who's hyped up to be the biggest killer in the UFC. All finishes in his career. He's such a killer. He's about to get his first decision, and it's about to be a loss to Belal Muhammad. Okay, and there's nothing you can do about it. Belal's that guy. He's arguably going to be the welterweight GOAT soon. I'm telling you, after this win, just based on how much Shavkat's hyped, this win does a lot for his legacy, okay? I might make a video after he beats Shavkat, what he has to do to become the welterweight GOAT. Maybe I'll do it now even. You know, but whatever. That's it for the video, guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if you think Shavkat's going to win, but I seriously wonder why you think he's going to win. What do you see? How do you see Belal winning? Or Belal losing? How do you see Belal losing? That's what I wonder. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.